You're not family anymore. My mother said it out loud. Clear. Cold. Right there in the hospital hallway, under the bright white lights that made everyone look sick and tired. Nurses were walking past us. A doctor stopped and stared. My mom didn't care. She pointed at me like I was something dirty. Don't call me again. Don't come near us. You're done. My chest felt like it split open. Then a nurse rushed over, holding a clipboard tight to her chest, breathing fast. "Excuse me," she said, eyes wide. "We need a family member to sign consent right now. He's crashing." She looked at my mom first. My mom stepped back. "I'm not signing anything," she said. Then she looked at me and added, "She's not family anymore." The nurse turned to me. "Ma'am, are you his next of kin?" Every sound died. My hands started shaking. I looked at the pen, and before I could answer, someone screamed my name. If you've ever had your heart ripped out by the people who made you, stay with me. Like this story. Watch till the end. And if you don't want to miss what happened next, subscribe, because what they did after this almost destroyed me. My name is Rachel Miller. I'm 32 years old. Or, at least, I was 32 when my life broke into pieces. Before that day, I believed in family. I believed blood meant something. I believed that no matter how bad things got, my mother would always love me. I was wrong. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, in a small yellow house with a crooked mailbox. My dad, Frank Miller, worked at a tire factory. My mom, Linda, stayed home when I was little, then worked part-time at a grocery store. We weren't rich, but we laughed a lot. Or at least, I thought we did. I was the oldest child, the helper, the fixer. When my little brother, Evan, cried, I held him. When my parents fought, I stood between them like a wall. My mom used to tell me, "Rachel, you're my rock." I held on to those words for years. In high school, I got good grades. I stayed out of trouble. I didn't drink. I didn't party. I went to Jefferson High School, walked home every day, and helped cook dinner. When I got into Ohio State, my dad cried. My mom hugged me and said, "We're so proud of you." I believed her. After college, I moved back home for a while to save money. I worked as a billing assistant at a small medical office. I paid rent. I bought groceries. I helped Evan with his homework. I thought I was doing everything right. That's when things started to change. My dad began to get sick. At first, it was small stuff. He forgot things. He got tired fast. Then one night, he collapsed in the living room. The doctors said it was his heart. Hospital visits became normal. Machines. Beeping. Long waits. Fear that sat in my stomach like a rock. I went to every appointment with him. I filled out paperwork. I talked to doctors. My mom hated hospitals. She said they made her anxious. So I handled it. Slowly, without anyone saying it out loud, I became the responsible one. And my mom changed. She started snapping at me. Small things. "Why are you home so late? Why did you cook it like that? Why do you think you know better than me?" I tried to keep peace. Then Evan dropped out of community college. He started hanging out with bad friends. Got arrested once for shoplifting. My mom blamed me. "If you were around more, he wouldn't be like this," she said. I was around. I was always around. One night, I overheard my parents arguing. My name came up. "She thinks she runs this family," my mom said. "She's helping," my dad replied weakly. That was the first time I felt it. That cold space opening between us. A month later, my dad got worse. Much worse. We rushed him to Miami Valley Hospital in the middle of the night. He was pale, sweating, barely breathing. In the ER, a doctor pulled me aside. "We need consent for emergency surgery." "Is your mother here?" "She's parking," I said. Minutes passed. Then more. My mom didn't come. I went outside and found her sitting in the car, hands shaking. "I can't do this," she said. "You handle it." So I did. I signed the papers. I stayed all night. I slept in a chair. I held my dad's hand when he woke up. He whispered, "Thank you, Rach." I thought that meant something. 3 days later, my mom exploded. She accused me of going behind her back. of controlling things, of making decisions that weren't mine to make. You think you're better than me, she yelled in the hospital room. My dad tried to speak, but she cut him off. Then she said the words that still echo in my head. You're not family anymore. Right there. In front of my dad. In front of nurses. In front of God. I stood frozen. Then the nurse came with the clipboard. And when my mom refused to sign, every eye turned to me. Before I could even reach for the pen, 2 uniformed security officers walked toward us fast. One of them looked straight at me and said, "Ma'am, we need you to come with us. Now." My stomach dropped. My mother crossed her arms and smiled. The security guard didn't touch me, but his voice was hard. "Ma'am, step away from the patient area." I looked at my dad. He was half asleep, machines breathing for him. I looked at my mom. Her lips were tight. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. "What's going on?" I asked. My voice sounded small, like it didn't belong to me. The other guard spoke. "We received a report." "A report of what?" I said. My mom answered before they could. "She's been making medical decisions without permission," she said. "She's been pretending to be in charge." I stared at her. "You told me to sign," I said. "You were there. You said you couldn't handle it." She shook her head slowly, like she felt sorry for me. "I never said that," she replied. The floor felt soft, like I might sink into it. The guards asked me to follow them to a small office near the ER. A nurse followed too, holding my file. The door closed behind us. They asked questions. What was my relationship to the patient? Did I have power of attorney? Did I sign forms? I answered everything honestly. Yes, I signed. No, I don't have power of attorney. She told me to. They wrote things down. The nurse avoided my eyes. Then one guard said, "Your mother claims you've been trying to take control of her husband's care." I laughed once. A sharp sound. "That's crazy," I said. "I've been helping. For years." No one laughed with me. They let me go after an hour, but they told me not to sign anything else. Not to speak to doctors without my mom present. When I walked back into the hallway, my mom was gone. So was Evan. I stood alone, staring at my dad's room. I wanted to go in. I wanted to hold his hand. But I was scared. I felt like if I took one more step, something worse would happen. So, I went home. The yellow house felt cold. Quiet. Like it didn't want me there. My mom came home late that night. Evan didn't come with her. She didn't look at me when she walked past. "I'm going to stay with Evan for a while," she said. "You should think about finding your own place." Just like that. I waited for her to explain. To say it was stress. To say she didn't mean it. She didn't. That night, I packed a bag. Just clothes and my laptop. I slept on a friend's couch. 2 days later, I went back to the hospital. The front desk stopped me. "Are you on the approved visitor list?" the woman asked. "Yes," I said. "I'm his daughter." She typed, frowned, then looked up. "I'm sorry. Your name isn't listed." My heart started racing. "That's a mistake." She called upstairs. Whispered. Hung up. "They don't want you visiting," she said quietly. "Who is they?" I asked, even though I already knew. I sat in my car and cried until my head hurt. A week passed. Then 2. No calls. No texts. Nothing. Finally, I got a message from Evan. "Mom says you caused Dad's condition. You stressed him out. Stay away." I read it over and over. Then, I did something I had never done before. I went to a lawyer. A small office downtown. Old carpet. Coffee that tasted burnt. The lawyer, Mr. Daniels, listened without interrupting. When I finished, he leaned back and sighed. "Legally," he said, "your mother can block you. Unless your father gave you written authority." "He didn't," I whispered. "But," he added, "you signed consent during an emergency. That's not a crime." "So, why did security treat me like one?" I asked. He didn't answer right away. "Because someone wanted a record," he said finally. "A paper trail." My stomach twisted. A few days later, I found out why. I got a letter in the mail. Official. Thick paper. Notice of investigation. My hands shook as I read. It said I was being investigated for medical interference and elder abuse. I dropped the letter. I couldn't breathe. Elder abuse. Against my own father. I called my mom right away. She didn't answer. I called Evan. Straight to voicemail. I went back to the lawyer, crying so hard I couldn't speak. Mr. Daniels read the letter, his face serious. Someone filed a complaint, he said. Who? I asked, though my chest already knew. He looked at me. Your mother, he said. I felt sick. Days later, 2 investigators came to my job. In front of my coworkers. They asked questions in a small conference room with glass walls. Everyone could see. I saw whispers. Pointing. I lost my job that week. They said it was temporary, my boss told me. But we can't have this kind of thing here. I went home and stared at the wall. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Rachel Miller? A man asked. Yes. This is the county courthouse, he said. You are required to appear tomorrow morning regarding a protective order. A protective order? I repeated. Yes, he said. Filed by Linda Miller. On behalf of Frank Miller. The room spun. That night I didn't sleep. The next morning, I stood in a courtroom I never thought I'd see from the wrong side. My mom sat across from me. She didn't look sad. She didn't look scared. She looked relieved. The judge spoke. Ms. Miller, he said, looking at me, you are accused of causing emotional and medical harm. I opened my mouth to speak. Before I could say a word, my mom stood up and said, she's dangerous. And I want her kept away from my husband. The judge raised his hand. And that's when the bailiff walked toward me and reached for the cuffs. The cold metal clicked around my wrists. I gasped. Wait, what? I said. This is a mistake. The bailiff didn't look at me. He looked straight ahead, like I wasn't a person anymore. My mom finally looked at me then. Her eyes were dry. The judge spoke again. This is temporary, he said. Ms. Miller, you are to be escorted out while we review the request. Temporary. That word didn't help when everyone in the courtroom turned to stare. I walked past strangers who now thought I hurt my own father. I wanted to scream. Instead, I was led into a small room with gray walls and a bench that smelled like bleach. They took my phone, my belt, my shoelaces. I sat there shaking. An hour passed. Maybe 2. Time felt thick. Then the door opened. The same judge stood there, papers in his hand. Ms. Miller, he said, there is enough concern to issue a temporary protective order. You are not to contact or approach Frank Miller. My mouth went dry. He's my father, I whispered. The judge nodded once. I understand. But this is about safety. Safety. From me. They released me later that day, but not free. I walked out of the courthouse with papers that said I was a threat. I went straight to my lawyer. Mr. Daniels read everything slowly. His jaw tightened. This is bad, he said. But it's not over. How could she do this? I asked. How could she lie like that? He didn't answer right away. People do strange things when money and fear mix, he said finally. Money? What money? I asked. He looked at me. Your father's life insurance. His pension. The house. I felt dizzy. She wouldn't, I said. But even as I said it, memories flashed. My mom asking questions about benefits. My mom pushing me away from paperwork. My mom getting angry when doctors spoke to me. I left the office and sat in my car, staring at nothing. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. Hello. I said. Rachel? A woman asked softly. This is Nurse Carla from Miami Valley Hospital. My heart jumped. Is my dad okay? I asked. She hesitated. I'm not supposed to call you, she said. But something felt wrong. I held my breath. Your mother submitted documents today, she continued. Legal ones. What kind? I asked. She filed sole medical authority, the nurse said. Backdated. My hands started shaking again. That's not possible. It shouldn't be, she said. But the paperwork lists you as estranged and unfit. Unfit. I lean my head against the steering wheel. There's more, she said quietly. Your father asked for you this morning. My throat burned. What did you tell him? She paused. I told him you weren't allowed to come. I cried then. I didn't care who saw. He kept saying your name, she said. Over and over. After the call ended, I screamed in my car until my voice broke. The next day, I got served again. Another envelope. This time it was about the house. My mom was filing to sell it. The house my dad built. The house I grew up in. I ran back to Mr. Daniels. She can't do this, I said. My dad wouldn't want that. Mr. Daniels looked at the new papers. Then he frowned. Rachel, he said slowly, your father signed something years ago. My heart skipped. What? A limited power of attorney, he said. In case of emergency. My chest lifted for half a second. With you, he added. I stared at him. With me? He nodded. It names you as decision-maker if he's incapacitated. Hope rushed in so fast it hurt. So I can stop her? I asked. In theory, he said. Yes. But, I asked. But your mother claims it was revoked. My hope shattered. Revoked how? I asked. She submitted a newer document, he said. One that cuts you out completely. That's fake, I said. He would never. I know, he said. But we have to prove it. Court dates were set. Delays stacked up. Weeks passed. I was broke. Jobless. Branded as dangerous. Friends stopped calling. One night, I got a message from Evan. You should have stayed away. Mom's fixing everything now. I blocked him. Then came the call that almost ended me. Late at night. Another unknown number. Rachel Miller? A man asked. Yes. This is the hospital administrator, he said. Your father has taken a turn. My heart slammed. What kind of turn? He needs an immediate procedure, he said. But there's a problem. What problem? I asked. There's a dispute over consent, he said. Your mother is unavailable. My breath caught. And legally, he continued, you may still be listed as next of kin. The world went quiet. We need someone to sign, he said. Now. I grabbed my keys. I'm on my way, I said. I drove like my life depended on it. When I reached the hospital, security was already waiting. Ma'am, one of them said, blocking my path, you're not allowed past this point. But they called me, I said. They need my signature. My mom stepped out from behind them. Perfect hair. Calm face. You don't belong here, she said. Remember? The administrator came rushing down the hall. Who can sign? He asked urgently. My mom spoke fast. I can. He looked at her clipboard. Frowned. This doesn't match our records, he said. Then he turned to me. Are you Rachel Miller? He asked. Yes, I said. He held out the pen. Before I could take it, my mom screamed. Stop her. She's under investigation. Security grabbed my arms. And from down the hall, I heard a flat, endless beep. The beep didn't stop. It stretched through the hallway like a scream that never took a breath. I fought the guards. Not hard. Not smart. Just desperate. That's my father. I cried. Please, he needs me. The hospital administrator shouted. Let her go. The guards hesitated. One looked at the other. Then they loosened their grip. I ran. I didn't think. I didn't look back. I burst into my dad's room just as doctors surrounded his bed. His chest was still. His eyes were half open. Dad, I screamed. A doctor turned to me. Are you Rachel Miller? He asked. Yes, I said, falling to my knees. Please. We need consent, he said. Now. My mom rushed in behind me. She can't sign, she yelled. She's dangerous. The administrator held up his hand. Ma'am, your documents are invalid, he said. They were flagged. My mom froze. What? She said. He looked at her hard. The power of attorney you submitted was forged. The room went silent. My mom laughed once. A short, sharp sound. You're wrong, she said. I'm his wife. And she's his daughter. The doctor said, placing the pen in my shaking hand. And legally, she's next of kin. I didn't think. I signed. The doctors moved fast. Machines whirred. Orders flew. I stood there praying to a god I hadn't spoken to in years. Minutes felt like hours. Then, a heartbeat. Slow.
Weak.
But real. The doctor exhaled.
He's stable, he said.
My legs gave out. Behind me, my mom screamed. No, she yelled. This isn't how it's supposed to end. Security stepped in. This time, not for me. They took her arms. You're under arrest for fraud and filing false reports, the administrator said, and for attempting to interfere with medical care. My mom's face twisted. She looked at me with pure hate. You ruined everything, she spat. I looked at her and felt nothing. No anger. No love. Just empty. Weeks later, the truth came out. The forged documents. The false elder abuse report.
The lies.
The charges were dropped against me. My mom was charged instead. Evan didn't testify. He disappeared. My dad woke up days later.
Weak. Confused. Alive.
When he saw me, he cried. I asked for you, he whispered. They wouldn't let you come. I held his hand. I'm here now, I said. The court restored his original power of attorney.
To me.
The house wasn't sold. The insurance stayed untouched. My mom took a plea deal. As she was led away in handcuffs, she looked at me one last time. You're not family anymore, she said, voice breaking. I leaned close and whispered back. You decided that a long time ago. Then I signed the final hospital paperwork, this time with steady hands.